of mentorship on all levels.
It's true. A number of leading women sat down with Elle magazine for a feature in the August issue. We've got more on that in a moment. But first, what mentors have meant to us.
I've sought out mentors my entire career.
To me, mentorship is really about just identifying somebody in your workplace or in your industry that you admire and watching what they do.
I remember when I was in a local station, and I would seek out the best reporter I could find, and I would just watch him or her. I remember watching them and going, wow, how did they get that interview, or how did they start their piece like that? And I would ask them, I'd say, can I ask a question? I said, oh my God, I loved your first line. How did you think of that? How did you come up with that opener?
The people who've been in the industry longer than you, they want to help those who are enthusiastic, who are hard workers, who don't think any job is too small for them. That's exactly who we're all rooting for and wanting to help along the way.
If you have knowledge, info, a technique, my advice is give it away. Tell somebody, who cares? They're going to make it their own. I think you should give everything away. It's not yours. You learned it from somebody. You gleaned it from somebody.
I think all along the journey and all the time I've been in news, I've definitely had moments where I've really needed advice and I've sought advice. And I found that the moments that was most useful were those when I was at a transition point. When I was trying to decide whether to leave local news and go to law school, I really counted on the advice of people around me. And in particular, I had a professor and old colleague of mine that we used to work at the news station where I did. And I asked him what I should do. And I'll never forget what he said, Savannah, think big. And it really meant a lot to me because it made me go home and think about what my biggest dream was and my biggest goal, and then try to get on that path.
I think it's really important that you have mentors on every level. I feel like an intern can be a great mentor to me.
Sometimes you find those mentors sitting right next to you. And in the case of Hoda, she is sitting right next to me. And it's the same as I did when I was young. I just watch what she does. I try to learn from the way she approaches things. I think she's one of the best interviewers out there. And I love the way that she connects with people and warms them up really fast. She can really get to the heart of the matter. And she's so herself.
I feel like Savannah and I kind of mentor each other. And again, call it mentoring, but it's really just friends helping friends. I want her to be better, she wants me to be better. And we do that without even thinking about it. I'll say, wow, that was a great interview. Tell me, break it down. How did you prep for it? What did you read? And she'll tell me. That's mentoring. But it's also learning and helping and growing.
It just means that you're somebody who's up and coming in an industry and you have questions and you're inquisitive and you want to raise your hand and you look for those opportunities to learn and grow. And to me, that is the heart of mentorship. Fun conversation to have, and let's bring in Emma Rosenblum. She's the executive editor of Elle magazine, and have this good idea to talk about mentorship. Emma, good morning.
Good morning.
It's funny because when we first started talking about it, we were like, oh, but not that corporate buzzword where it's you need a mentor. We would thought of it as something more informal. If you were a person who's starting in an industry, I don't want to say just a young person, but someone who's starting out, what advice do you have?
Well, as you said, mentorship can have this kind of corporate buzzword thing about it where it feels like it's unattainable, where somebody has to take you under their wing, and who is that person? But as you were saying in the segment, it really can be more informal than that. It can be a colleague mentoring a colleague. You can crowdsource mentorship. You can go on Twitter and ask a question. And there are tons of websites, too, that are devoted to helping people find mentors.
I think there are young people who you want to help because they come in and they don't just come in and say, hey, mentor me.
Right.
But they come in kind of with a little bit of an agenda, right? They say, I think it's good to come in with a plan as opposed to just showing up.
Well, as you said, we interviewed you for our Elle article, and Savannah, I think you said the best thing to do is to come in with a specific question. If you just come guns blazing, mentor me, people aren't going to really want to do that and think, why should I? But if you have an actual actionable question that you can ask, people are so happy to help you.
They are. You talked to a lot of people for this article. Sheryl Sandberg is one of them, and she's kind of doing something new, taking lean into the mentorship world. Tell us about that.
So she has launched an initiative called Mentor Her. She actually did a study where they found in the wake of Me Too, men were even less likely to mentor younger female colleagues. And so she wants to stop this, obviously. And so her initiative is trying to get men to mentor women, particularly younger women, and without that idea of, there's something awry going on
It's
here.
true. Some of my best mentors have actually been male mentors.
Yeah,
People who just gave me advice along the way. So we don't want that to be stigmatized.
No.
And I think a lot of people don't even realize that they are mentoring somebody, because I think sometimes it happens in a lot of ways where people may be intimidated to go ask.
Right.
But you can learn a lot from observing, can't you? And trying to put something together that way.
Of course you can, and I think, Hoda, you said this to us too, that just watching people and the best people in your workplace is the best way to get mentorship. And a mentor can get a lot from a mentee as well.
Like what? What kinds of things?
Well, these are people that are younger, maybe fresh intelligence about the industry. They know better about certain kinds of technologies maybe than older colleagues do. So the relationship can be mutually beneficial for sure.
Sometimes it's just their enthusiasm too. It makes you remember how lucky we are and how much we love this job.
Yeah.
Another thing someone said, collect mantras, not mentors. I like that, which is pick up pieces of advice here and there.
Sure, that was Taylor Haney, who's the founder of Outdoor Voices. She spoke with Elle about this idea that basically just collecting pieces of advice from different people as opposed to one specific mentor, which again can be so limiting, and then trying to implement all of those into her working life.
I like that.
It was fun, Emma.
Thank you so much. If you want to check out Elle's August issue, it is on newsstands now.
Coming up next, an international singing sensation starting to hit it big right here in the U.S.